Kuns in Vermaak with Marianah Lourens. Yes, art and entertainment with Marianah Lourens. And once again, I'm in the green room for a change. We haven't been here for a while. I'm going up and down. I've got one amazing artist. I don't know if I must call you an artist, Brendon, because it's a disappearing act you can do as well. But you've been around.
Yes.
Brendon Peele, the
mentalist magician, and I do see magic as kind of like it's a performance art. So yeah, artist is
totally a performance art.
So that's but Brendon Peele, and what I do is magic, illusion, and also, like you just mentioned, mentalism, and that's what I absolutely love doing. It's my passion. It's good to be back here. Good to see you again and be here on Bay FM.
I know, you've traveled. You've been traveling. But I remember, I just want to say this quickly, when you were with Lee.
Oh, yes, of course.
And how what was it? Was he almost...
Yes, there was something with a crossbow.
The crossbow, it was touch and go.
Yes, he did get shot in the head with a crossbow. For those listening who may not know
but the touch and go is still alive.
He's still alive. Yeah. And from that kind of incident, we've gone on to bigger things. And
yes.
In the moment, obviously, we thought that was a very hectic it was a very hectic thing, but we thought that was like something that we were both going to like pause on the whole performing thing, or, we were just concerned on that. But in reality, it actually ended up being more good in the long run than bad, because that's how we got onto Britain's Got Talent, essentially, was because of the hype around that issue, around the accident.
Yes.
So there was a good thing that came from it, but it was very serious. Yeah, could have died.
Because you took turns. I mean, you also did that, didn't you?
No, with that particular thing.
Because he was in the jacket and he had to get...
exactly. With that particular one, he's an escape artist he sits in front of essentially the crossbow while I'm solving Rubik's Cubes and stuff like that. So when we perform together, me and Lee Lau, we do a combination of mentalism and magic and escapology and what's called like bizarre performance or bizarre magic. So he brings the bizarre and the escapology side. I bring the magic and the mentalism, the mind reading and stuff like that. And we kind of keep within our categories when we do work together, but we put the elements of both in the show. So our show that we do, and we recently just did one not so long ago at the Barn in PE, those people that would have come to the show would see that it's quite a unique and interesting show.
What was that called?
That show that we're still actually going to be going around doing more of them around country. It's called the Absolutely Mental Magic Show. And the reason why we call it the Absolutely Mental Magic Show is because obviously we're playing on the fact it's obviously a magic show at its core, a very unique magic show though. But we call it the Absolutely Mental Magic Show because I do mentalism, which for the listeners who don't know what that is, essentially mentalism is magic of the mind, creating the illusion of mind reading and stuff like that. So that's the mental part. But also Lee Lau and his escapes and hitting nails in his head and walking on glass, that is just absolutely mental. So the combined two, it's quite a nice little play. I really like the title of that show because it is the Absolutely Mental Magic Show, because it's mental on his side and it's mental on my side.
Yes, and it's magic. Because
and it's definitely magic.
To watch, I mean, it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah. No,
of course, Lee, we're talking about you, but I'll catch you. Yeah. And also talk to you on the side one day.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, but of course you've had your show, it was called Impossible, in the Barn. You had it in September with the NAF.
Yeah, so that show, my Impossible show, has toured literally around. I've actually performed the show on cruise ships around the world, as well as, I did Sabaya Casino, did the Sun International Casino in Bloemfontein. I've done it in Joburg. Also recently at PMADS, the Athenaeum, and also now at the actual National Arts Festival itself, as well as the Mandela Bay Arts Festival. At the National Arts Festival, the show won.
In Grahamstown?
Yes.
Yeah. Because the National Arts Festival is now in Grahamstown and in Mandela Bay.
It's still, it's still based in Grahamstown. It's still growing here, though. But the show Impossible, when it was at Grahamstown, I won the Standard Bank Silver Ovation Award, which is quite a big deal.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, so we just keep on moving it. And the Impossible show is quite a unique and interesting one. People seem to be really enjoying it, and I enjoy performing it. So, yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
And we enjoy watching it. And, of course, Lee knows that we skinnering about him and he doesn't mind. because we're going to speak to him and catch him where he performs. But the thing that intrigued me, of course, was the fact that you have been on cruise ships.
Yeah.
And you're going back there.
Yes.
And that is such a nice thing because I think people just love the cruise. The fact that there is something going on if you want to go on a cruise.
Yeah, you know, it's a really awesome. It is a really awesome kind of experience.
It's wonderful entertainment.
Yes, and it's difficult actually to some of the cruise lines also that I have now been featured on. It's actually like really an achievement to actually be selected.
It's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's like we're not just talking about like the top performers.
Von Memeti. Her parents have been there, and still she has not succeeded in getting in, but she's getting there.
No, and I wish her all the best.
And I mean, we've got others from our town. I mean, the Jody Butler, he's been on the cruise ships. Yes.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So actually,
Jody, we're skundering about you, Cassie. We're skundering about you.
But you know, it depends which also lines and stuff you're on.
Yes, there's different lines. Now your one.
Well, I'm doing a whole bunch, but it's all
you've done, and now you're going.
Yeah,
almost there.
So a lot of it's
there.
A lot of it's with Carnival Cruises, which is a US based. It's actually the largest cruise liner.
Carnival Cruises.
Yeah, they own, like, for example, Cunard, who has the QE2.
Okay.
And the Queen Mary and whatnot, Cunard as well. I mean, those ships have come to PE, I think, a few times. They also own like Princess Cruises, Holland America.
Princess is the ones you've mentioned.
Princess, I have been on quite a few of them now, which is great. And they're really great cruises. And actually the one, the Regal Princess is the name of the actual ship. That's actually ranked as one of the top 10 cruise ships in the entire world. So it's not just like, doing cruise ships. It's like doing some of the best in the world. So it's like a really cool experience to be able to say that I've done that, and cool, like, I'm still sometimes flabbergasted as to how it's all kind of come about and happened, but I've worked hard.
Everybody feels kind of an aspiration to go perform on a cruise ship.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, either you want to go on a cruise, just go on holiday. Or
which I recommend. It's good fun. If anyone has an opportunity to go do it, if you can, like 100%.
Yes.
It's really cool. And there are cruises as well that go from Durban out to Mozambique and some islands around there. You don't have to go
too far.
Yeah, you don't have to go too far. And you'll be surprised, actually.
You can economize.
Yes, exactly. And you'll be surprised how actually it's really not overly expensive. Obviously, it is a decent chunk.
I know about people who just live on cruise ships because they say it's cheaper than maintaining a home.
Actually, interesting enough, just going around now and meeting people, and you meet the most interesting kind of wonderful people on the cruise ships, especially like the older ones who have like these stories. I love meeting these people. But some of them I've met, they actually have a home, like wherever they're from, like in Australia, and they essentially rent out their home and just use that rent money. They just continue cruising. There's people that have like just been cruising for like 6 months to a year just straight. And they love it though. It's like addictive, I think, for some people. So yeah.
Well, who won't like travel?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
It's strange if you don't want to see different countries, and it's not monotonous. It's nice and exciting. And Brendon, another thing about you that I actually was totally blown away by was because your master thesis on microeconomics. Now look, here you are, the magician, the mentalist, the illusionist, and you've got this master degree now in microeconomics. And I mean, your paper was selected for the SAIMS conference.
Yes, that is correct. The SAIMS, SAIMS, which is one of the biggest management and business conferences in Southern Africa.
What is SAIMS?
So it's the Southern African International Management Science or something like that.
Yeah, management and science or something.
It's management sciences. So it's management sciences. So it's like business and management and all that. And it's essentially a big conference that happens every year around Southern Africa. So like Botswana or South Africa. This time it was actually at the Impekweni Sun.
I've been there.
Yeah, very nice. It was nice to go back. I haven't been since I was a child. And it's still great there though. So I did my master's at Rhodes University in business, and I wrote my thesis on long story short, I'm not going to give you the whole title now because it's like a whole mouthful, but essentially it's basically looking at the relationship between economic freedom and human development in Southern Africa. My paper was selected to be presented, which I really wasn't anticipating, because in my master's cohort, there were some people that were in my class that were like, also like, I mean, they were really sharp people, you know, like, and I was, as far as I know, I was the only guy selected, only person from my class selected.
Feathers in your cap, mate.
Oh yeah, no, this is like a proper like big thing. I mean, like there's lecturers from all over universities that were giving lectures there, and it was really an honor to be also on that film.
Interesting, I'm sure.
You can't actually, it's actually literally impossible to go to all the talks, because literally sometimes there's like 4 talks happening
They
at once.
overlap, yeah.
But I went to quite a few, the ones that really interest me, especially in the marketing field. It was really cool to like learn more just about all of that. So
I can imagine.
It was a blessing to be selected.
What I've realized, because you studied psychology at
I mean, I've studied like
that was 10 years ago.
Don't remind me.
Studied psychology. Then you got into business admin, journalism.
Yes, I did journalism. Actually, so when I was younger, the first thing I wanted to really be, well, not the first thing, but when I was in high school, what I wanted to be was a journalist. So actually the guys who I used to really like be like, this is who's inspired me. I don't know if you know them or not, but they were TV journalists, Ross Kemp and another one, Louis Theroux. So they both did I like Louis Theroux because he did very interesting interviews with very fascinating people.
Topics and
unusual. And Ross Kemp, I just really liked his style of like investigative kind of journalism that like. So anyway, I just really wanted to be a journalist. That obviously did change, but I mean, I studied journalism in my undergrad at Rhodes as well. But then kind of towards the end of that, I kind of decided, look, and actually I specialized, interesting enough, I specialized in radio. That was my third year speciality.
Because you had to choose something.
I had to choose something, and I was very interested in radio at the time. And I still am. I love like the art, theater of the mind and all that type of thing. So basically radio it was. But I mean, after I finished that, I didn't pursue it any further.
Later on when you studied.
Yeah, and then I did come back and do my your business. I went into business after that.
Your microeconomics. But another thing that's interesting about you, Brendon Peele, the magician, the mentalist, illusionist, you went to art school or drama school?
Well, when I studied journalism, I also studied drama. So with Rhodes, you select 2 undergrad essentially courses that you like major in. So I majored in drama and journalism, and some of the people that were in my drama class have actually gone on to do some really big things. There's this one girl there who's actually in the Ludic show now, Ludic on Netflix. There's another girl who's done a bunch of different soapies and stuff like that. So there's some people from my class that many listeners will recognize, you know. One of my main lecturers there, and the guy who supervised me for my mini thesis for my third year there in drama was Andrew Buckland, who I'm sure you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's such an honor, and it was so awesome to be essentially under his guidance. And I think that actually did also help. I mean, definitely drama helped me
and I
become a
believe
performer.
That also, because while I'm getting to this, I always ask people how did they land up in what they're doing now, the magician.
Yeah.
I believe that it happened so that you had to choose something in your drama course. Yeah. You had to choose something and you didn't know what to choose, and somebody suggested. Have you ever thought of me?
No. Okay, well, so actually, I should also just mention this on the drama thing, because I only mentioned like Andrew Buckland, who was much later on in my university days. But the first time I did acting, I was about 7 years old. I'll just give some shout outs here. I started off in grade 1 or beginning of grade 2 at Helen O'Grady Drama Academy.
Yes.
And from there, I moved very quickly. When I was about 9, I did drama classes with Sharon Rother.
Yes.
And also Linda Louise Swain.
Yes.
And I did then all these types of plays that I'm even looking at posters around us here. And I've done so many plays when I was a child here.
On this stage?
Yeah, I was in Little Shop of Horrors when in high school. I don't know, that was quite a big one that was here. I mean,
awesome.
You name it. I've done stuff with Linda Louise and Sharon here that's been so cool. You know, the government inspector even when I was like 13 or something, or you name it. I've done all these, I was, done a few at the Opera House, like Alice in Wonderland. And I don't know if you recall any of these from like 20 years ago now.
No, I saw them.
Yeah, and maybe you didn't recognize me then or whatnot, but
you don't remember all the kids, but you see the ones as they come, and the names you.
But just going on that, like, so I started off doing like the whole drama thing, and the magic thing, I guess, was just a little bit separate. But one of the first times I actually ever did a proper magic performance was actually for my, I did the Trinity College exams. I can't remember which grade
because
it was.
You had to choose something and you chose.
No, yeah, I mean, I always did a little bit of magic when I was young. Like, I just was always interested in it, apart from doing acting. I mean, I did acting when I was like 7.
What brought you to be so interested in the magic?
In my mind, everyone is just, magic is just a wonderful thing. Like, it's like,
but not
I think most young
wants
people,
to go do it.
I guess. But for me, the reason why I kept doing it after doing first few tricks is the thrill of when you kind of do a trick that blows someone's mind. It is basically like a thrill, if I want to call it that.
It's not like when you do a good performance on stage and
exactly. It's the same as, it's the same as a singer, like getting a standing ovation, or exactly. An actor who pulled off their
and now
role.
You're getting the ovation award. That is so big.
But I know
other awards you've won.
But I never started magic necessarily because I wanted like awards. At the end of the day. I do it because it makes the audience feel a certain way, and them feeling that wow or that type of way in turn makes me feel a good way, and that's why I do it. I didn't plan this for my life. I didn't like kind of sit down and think this is what I'm going to do and like make a career out of it. But I always just loved doing it and just kept at it, and I have put a lot into it. And as years go by, every year I'm putting more and more. Whether it be, basically blood, sweat and tears each year, I put more and more into it. And it just seems to be that I'm getting more out in terms of like performances and places I'm going to and numbers of audiences and stuff. So it's very blessed. And just thank you to everyone who has supported me and come to my shows in the years past. And you don't actually know how much it actually means to me, because without those people coming back and, coming to support me, I would not, I wouldn't be able to sustainably continue, and I wouldn't be here now.
Well, we love you, Brendon Peele, and I just want to say our time is up now.
Yes, okay.
But we are watching you cruising around the world. Watch the space from Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment. It is now goodbye, ja van Marianah Lourens en Kuns en Vermaak. Arrivari!